Yeah. Now the Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board report. Oh, what about, have I got that right?
Thanks, Leanne and councillors, and a happy new year to you all.
Oh, I see.
Thanks for the opportunity to tell you what's happening in our lovely little part of Christchurch. I better put my spectacles on actually. Now, we don't have any Part A's, Leanne and councillors. But we've, sorry? Oh, you want me to talk to that?
No, just introduce where it is, Mike.
Introduce? Riccarton House? Absolutely, everybody knows where Riccarton House is. And, sorry? No, it's in Riccarton. And when we come to the end of our report in our helpful what do we call it, Gary?
Hyper helpful random fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll be enlightening you a bit more on that lovely piece of Riccarton. So anyway, back to our report. The Denton Park reclassification is out for consultation, and there seems to be quite a lot of public interest in that at this point in time. And Night Stream Playground, are we on to that? Where are we? Yeah, we are there. That's not Night Stream Playground. I must say that is not Night Stream Playground, is it? It is Night Stream Playground. It's not Neil Graham Park. So now that's a lovely facility, and we just can't wait until the fences come down and it can be officially opened, because it's been constructed for quite some time, and families and children are absolutely loving it, but it's still behind fences. So we just Mr. Watson was making some inquiries this morning to see when we can actually have that officially launched. So we're looking forward to that. And the next one is the Templeton quarrying issues, and as our report says, we had a meeting at St Saviour's Church with more than 200 people. Last Monday was a subsequent meeting at the Templeton Community Centre with in excess of 500 people at that meeting. So they're really, really proactively making the community aware of this proposal by Fulton Hogan to actually open a massive quarry just on the boundary of Selwyn District Council. So we're up to our eyeballs in that one, councillors, and it's just over the boundary. So the effects of this quarry are very, very much within our ward and within the city of Christchurch, but the activity itself is just across the road in Selwyn. So and there hasn't been a resource consent applied for yet. So that's why I'm commending the Templeton Residents Association for being proactive in being involved in communicating with Fulton Hogan prior to them actually lodging the application. It's a lot better for everybody to be proactive in these situations rather than reactive. So moving on then to our Iranian community Yalda night celebrations, and it's just lovely to see these things happening in our community, multicultural community. We've got a lot to learn from each other as far as culture and practice is concerned, and it's just really, really great to see. And we can help support these multicultural events. It's just so pleasing, and it's good for everybody, not only that community, but for everybody else as well. Christmas dinner at the that was a brilliant event. I see in our report it mentions it's for the elder community. I didn't actually think it was for the elder community, but most of them were there. I was there, and I really enjoyed it. But it's such a wonderful community, that Riccarton West community, and one of the best things that happened, of course, was when we had the community policing team move into that area and bring that community together. And the residents associations in that community are really well organised. Their community garden, virtually all the food that was vegetables and all of that stuff at that dinner was produced by the community garden. And one of the gentlemen, Nick Tipa, he goes out and does a lot of white baiting during the white bait season as well, and shares that around the community as well. So it's a really lovely community, and so pleased that we could help support that as well. Hornby Hoops. Yes, I was there with the throwing a few balls and with the community. That's at the Branston, used to be the Branston Intermediate site, which is now the site of the new South Hornby schools transferred to that site. But there's an area there that's used as a youth hangout, drop-in area, and that was a really lovely event, and it was good to see those the Canterbury Rams come along and be so free with their time and to support these young people in that activity. We're very privileged to have that. Yeah, and of course we've got the Olympian gymnastics in our ward as well at the Wigram, at the Wigram Air Base Gymnasium has been taken over now by, well, it was given to Christchurch, and it's the Olympia Gymnastics are operating out of there. So that's a lovely facility, and they're expanding their activities to different forms of gymnastics.
It's probably important to say that this is the first parkour organised group in Christchurch.
Yes.
And if you've ever seen parkour, they're running up the wall and running across the roof and doing things that probably shouldn't be able to do, but they do.
Correct.
So,
correct. We only thought that marsupials and possums and things like that could do.
It's pretty impressive.
But it's absolutely wonderful. Now moving on to
university.
Oh, the university. Yeah, we had a meeting yesterday. Thanks, Gary, with the Vice Chancellor Rod Carr at the university. We're with our Harewood, Fennelton, Waimari Community Board and our Community Board. We were undertaking a parking review around the university, and we had the opportunity. We were invited by Dr. Carr to have a meeting with them yesterday, and I was absolutely blown away with the changes and what's happening at the university over the next 12 months is going to be absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So they're shifting the whole College of Education, the old Teachers College, to the opposite side of the campus completely. So there's going to be some massive changes. A lot more on-site student residential units are going in there, and it was really helpful, wasn't it, Gary? Really helpful. So that was really good.
I think in terms of the parking review, it gave some really good, honest information about how full those car parks are, and there's a perception that they're not full, but because of construction and because of other things, they are at a maximum. And the student parks for $400 a year.
That's and I pointed it out that for a student to park for a month is about the same price as a 24 pack of stubbies. so when people think that the car parking at the uni is very expensive, I was really surprised to find out that it is $400 for a year for on-site car parks there, so it's probably not as bad as we were led to believe. Now this month's hyper helpful random fact is Riccarton House, and Riccarton House was the first house in Christchurch to have electricity. So did you know that? First house, and it also had an intercom, so that the residents of the house could talk to the servants and say, "Could you bring me up a cup of tea this morning, please?" So that was another fact is, and it's probably not well known, that when the Dean's family were coming, when the Dean's brothers were coming from Wellington across Cook Strait, they had a barrel of nails. Now there was a storm, and during the storm, as they were crossing the Cook Strait, they lost their barrel of nails. So when they got to Riccarton and started to build Dean's cottage, they had to make their own nails out of pieces of timber. So they made their nails like oversized toothpicks, and that was what was used to actually hold together the first Dean's cottage, which is still on site, and it's the oldest. It's the oldest. Well, it was the first house built on the Canterbury Plains. So that's a bit more useless information. And the other thing that amazes a lot of people was when Jane Deans decided to migrate from Scotland. She was packing her bags, and what do you think she thought she should take? Rolls of wallpaper. Now, what a funny thing for a lady to put in a bag when they're coming out to build a new life in Riccarton in Christchurch. Was, oh, I better fill up my cabin trunk with wallpaper, and that wallpaper is still on the walls at Riccarton House, and we've had it replicated, so that we've got new rolls of that identical wallpaper. So that's another bit of useless information on it. No, it's not useless. It's a hyper helpful random fact.
Thank you very much. So I think Jimmy would like to move this report. Anne, would you like to second the report? Yes. Are there any questions? No.
Sorry, I
have a comment for the Templeton Quarry one.
We've gone well over the 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
Quickly.
We've gone over the 10 minutes, well and truly. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
Taken so long.
No, that's okay.
I just did want to mention that we've got 2 new schools, as well as the Seven Oaks school that's going to be opening up. There's 2 more new schools on stream, so we need to be aware of that as far as safety issues and all of that stuff. In the next 12 months, we've got 2 new schools opening in Halswell as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Sorry if I've taken you over time.
No, that's all right. I'm being reasonably relaxed at the beginning of the year, but we've got 3 more boards to get through, and I had hoped that we could get through them and then have a cup of coffee, but we may have to stop and have a cup of coffee. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
There's no questions in?
No, I'll pop the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you.